Hello and welcome back to another PGMMV tutorial. Today I'm going to go over the Baz Snap to Grid plugin and how to install it and get it up and running. And with that said, let's get started. Alright, so the easiest way to see how this plugin works is to go into the ladder sample. So I'm going to create a ladder sample. And I have a couple videos that go over the process here, but basically in these purple actions right here, step X, down X, and up X, they have an equation that they run with these 6 actions that basically allow the player to snap onto the ladder. So we can see that when you're the player, and if you're on the edge of the ladder right here, it's going to snap you into the middle. And that's exactly what that does and what this plugin solves. Basically, you don't have to have these 6 runtime actions anymore. It condenses it down to 1, and then it also gives you some option on using the X and the Y coordinates, or just one or the other, and then to also add an offset, which is you'd have to add more runtime actions for that to happen on this. So we go to our plugins here, we add plugin. First off, you'll download the plugin from my itch page, and then you will import it here, and you can rename it if you want. So Baz Snap to Grid. There are no parameters to set. There is some help if you need it. And the preview is very simple. You just got an object, what coordinate you want, and then the offsets for that. So for instance, now we can take let's just take the go up, since that's the easiest one to do on the sample. And we can now get rid of all of this. And we can just call the plugin command snap to grid. We're going to use it on the object self. I've also made it to where you can use it on the parent object as well, which might be nice for certain situations. And then we're going to choose the type of snap. Well, we don't need the Y coordinate snap because we're keeping the Y. We just want the X coordinate snap. Now, I also provide an X and Y coordinates snap if you're using like a top view and you want to snap into the grid. And then we have additional offsets, and I can show how this works in a little bit. All right, so one thing to just note real quick is that the snap is coming from the X and Y coordinate, which is going to be the origin. Now, the origin, if you're not familiar, is where the red line, the horizontal red line, and the vertical red line intersect. All right, so right here is going to be the X. Don't confuse this with the center, which is this big red pixel, or this single red pixel right here. That is the center, and that's not where your X and Y values are determined. So it's only going to be where the origin intersects. All right, and with only that simple plugin right there, we can now play. And when we hit right there, it snaps you just like it did. Now, in this case, you'd want to replace it in this down X and step X as well. But for this video tutorial's intentions, just this up X is all we need. And now I do want to show that we can actually offset it. So we can offset, say, the X, for instance, and we can offset it by, let's just say, 20. And so what's going to happen now is it's going to offset it 20 pixels this way. So if we go right here and press up, you can see that it offset me 20 pixels. Now it won't let me continue to go up because you have to be in an area detection in order for the ladder to work. But this might work in some cases. If you're doing area detection, it won't work because if it gets you out of the area detection, it might cause problems. But if you're just trying to jump to another state, then you might be fine. So I just wanted to give that option because it's a valuable option to have in there. And so yeah, now we can save this ladder sample and we can go to a top-down view. I'm just going to real quickly create a top view, and we can use the benchmark for this. And now we can go install the plugin. And I won't rename it this time just for convenience here. Now in the attack here, this is where we're going to run the snap to grid. Now this time I'm going to do it on the X and the Y. And we're going to remember that the origin is where it's going to snap. So it's going to snap me basically right on the chin of this player right here, right here. Now I could change this real quick if I wanted, but we're just going to test this out real quick. So then I'm going to go to the scene here and delete anything that we don't need. Like we don't need the chicken. Actually, all we need is the player. And now we can play test. And for easy testing, we can actually just show the grid right here. And we can see that we snapped. So then I'm going to move, and then I'm going to snap it. And there I go. I snapped to the middle of that grid. And that was the X and the Y. So yeah, I hope this plugin helps you out in your game development. And any questions, comments below, Steam Discord, we'll get you figured out. And with that said, see you at the next video.